Hey guys, this next video is about comparing your share returns to inflation. So in the last couple of videos I've tried to push the importance of thinking about inflation when you're trying to see whether your investments actually really grew, if they actually grew faster than inflation. So remember in the very first video about inflation, we said if the inflation rate you calculate is greater than the growth of the investment over a time period, then the investment does not exhibit real growth because it did not exceed inflation. So its buying power is like less than what it should be. Okay, if inflation rate is less though than the growth of the investment, so the investment grew say 2% and inflation ran at 1%, then the investment will exhibit real growth. Okay, so we're going to do an example of that. Example calculation is something you'll experience in exercise 7E.5. Martina created an index for a share portfolio that sort of exercises in 7E.3, which you're asked to define from 4 separate companies. Doesn't matter which ones, okay? Because we are telling you the aggregate market values. So she calculated the AMVs, the aggregate market values, in year 1 and 2 of her portfolio to be these: 172,558, 176,749. Now, the Australian CPI, the Australian Consumer Price Index, for those same 2 years went from 149.8 to 155.7. And the question is, would you describe Martina's share portfolio performance as successful over these 2 years? So what is that really asking us to do? It's asking us to compare the increase in her whole portfolio to the increase in CPI to see if it beat inflation. So this is all about finding percentage change. Okay, so we need to find the percentage change in the AMV. So we'll find percentage change in her portfolio first. Is going to be new value, take old value over the old value, all times by 100%. So I'll chuck that in the calculator. 176,749, take 172,558 divided by 172,558 times by 100%. You will get 2.43% to 2 decimal places. So what is that saying? Therefore, Martina's share portfolio grew 2.43% from year 1 to 2. So that is the value of her share portfolio done. Okay, that's the growth of her investment. Now, we need to find the percentage change in the CPI, which is inflation. Percentage change, I should have written change here. Percentage change in CPI, which is inflation, is same formula going to be used. New value, take old value over old value times by 100%. So chuck that into the calculator. 155.7, take 149.8 divided by 149.8 times that by 100%. 94% to 2 decimal places. What is that saying? Therefore, inflation ran at 3.94% from year 1 to 2. So what does this say? Inflation was greater than the increase in her share portfolio. So, no real growth occurred. So even though she sees bigger numbers, okay, she sees that her average market value, the value of all her share portfolio, goes from this number, which is smaller than this one. That didn't actually beat inflation. Okay, so it didn't really grow because the buying power of that is not worth what it was. Okay, it's not enough to cover the inflation. The increase in cost of everything went up by 3.94%. compared to the 2.43% that the investment grew. So no real growth occurred. Her portfolio performance, while it grew, was not enough to beat inflation. So that's an example of a comment you might make if a question asks whether an investment was successful or not. It is all based on whether the investment's growth, which we worked out to be 2.43%, actually beats the inflation rate. Okay, if it does, then you'll experience real growth. But if it doesn't, like we had in this case, it only grew 2.43% when inflation, the cost of everything, actually increased by 3.94%. Then no real growth occurs in the portfolio. Okay, so that is basically the last exercise you need to do for shares. We're going to go back over some graph stuff that we did earlier in the term, and I will see you on the next video.